Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle Alba here, your Conscious Sex 101 guide, and I am so thrilled to have Nunaisi here with me. She's starting a summit called I Rise Summit on December 12th, 2019. I have the link below to join, and she has all these amazing speakers that are going to be talking on different topics related to sexual healing, sexual empowerment. Thank you so much for having this time for us, because I really would love for you to share with everyone what inspired, if you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to launch this amazing 23 speakers worldwide summit. And if you could give us a little of what we are going to expect watching the summit.
Yes, thank you, Michelle, for having me. And
My pleasure.
my inspiration was, I have experienced sexual molestation growing up. And in fact, when I was 9 years old, I've experienced an orgasm from my stepfather stimulating my clitoris. And this is something that created so much shame and guilt and disgust in my life. And I had to work through it for years and years and years. And I started fairly young because I knew that I was in such a mess that I couldn't actually live a normal life. I couldn't operate on a daily basis. I was completely wired up in that shell of feeling not worthy, not good enough, feeling that I actually allowed that to happen and I actually had pleasure. And so there was so much going on, and especially when I eventually told the story when I was 10 years old, my mother didn't believe me.
Oh, wow.
And she abandoned me. I had to move to live with my father and a stepmother. So there I had a huge mother wound of betrayal. And I was a mess. And so I spent the last over 2 decades, healing myself. I was adamant to rise above those wounds. I was adamant to shift that and have a good life. I was really always had that urge to do that, and also in my nature to serve others and help others. And so I came to a point where I had to share that. I had to almost bring it to the world and say, you know what? Actually, all of us in some way or another have been sexually wounded. Women, men, children. It's just the way our society have been operating in the past, 2,000 years. We've been in these patriarchy times where sexuality was suppressed, and so many mixed messages by religion and by the media, and we all a product of a wounded society. And so my sacred mission is to say, okay, so let's change that victimhood consciousness. Let's actually take the responsibility and rise beyond those wounds so we can live in bliss and ecstasy and in purpose and really have all that life has to offer. But the primal, the fundamental way is to clear all that muck that stands in our way.
Yeah, and this is I'm so excited that we met, because my Conscious Sex 101 class begins January 9, 2020, and I feel that this December 12th, 2019 summit, I Rise, is such a beautiful preparation for people that want to go a deeper level to the Conscious Sex 101. The intention of this masterclass that I'm launching finally, it's my first global masterclass online that we're going to do through Zoom like this. And my vision is to have people that want to learn. Men and women are welcome. I'm not just making it for women. And that I had to think a lot about, because I want men to hear and women to hear what the men have to say, what the women have to say, and what if we could all be speaking about conscious sex together. And this is what I'm seeing a lot also. And I hope a lot of men sign up for this summit that are listening, because there's a lot of men that have subscribed to my YouTube channel from the different videos I've made about squirting with Apollonia Ponti, and there's like 2.5 million views on that video. So that's a big topic that men want to learn about. Whole body orgasm, that's another video that I posted on my YouTube channel. And so can you share with us on your summit so far with the speakers that have spoken, what men can look forward to in the summit, and women too, and the different reasons why people should join by clicking down below, everyone?
Sure. So the summit is really
that starts
intentionally,
December 12.
Yeah, it starts on December 12, and it's made for women, right? My intention is to first bring and launch it for women, because we really work with the womb energy and the yoni, yeah, another beautiful word for vulva, and the feminine energy. Although, having said that, men also have feminine energy. So I'm sure that men will benefit from it as much as women do, for themselves and for their beloved women, and understand that what happens in the woman tribe, right? So I'm sure that men will also really enjoy the content, but in my intention, this was a gift for women.
Yes. Well, just from the video, the interview, I'm going to be talking about how to release our issues in our tissues, and people that have had any type of sexual trauma, or anybody that's holding pain or tension, men will benefit from that video. And I'm sure men are dating women or have wives or a lover and a partner that they can, watching this video, send that link to all the goddesses that you know, and share this information, because you've assembled 23 speakers from all around the world. Can you share a little bit about the highlights, the topics, and the different people, like briefly, just some highlights?
Yes. So I am humbled and honored and feeling my heart wants to explode from this amazing content that came across from leading authorities, pioneering people that doing this work for decades, and they really leading movements. So a lot of those people on the summit, they have schools or institutes, they doing one-on-one or group work, and you can see that this is their passion, this is their sacred mission, and they really pioneering their way, and each and every one of them is a gem, but together they form like a crown full of jewelry, because they bring in different angles and, you know, to the same topic, but different angles and different insights that kind of all interwoven together in this summit. So it really gives the audience such a rich experience and understanding of what are the tools to rise beyond those wounds? How can we really shift and create that quantum leap that we all yearning to have good life, when we on purpose and we feel content and fulfilled, and especially in our relationships to ourselves primarily and foremost, but also to our beloved. So it's really about how to create that intimacy which is healthy and nurturing, right? Because we haven't been told that. We haven't been educated, not about our sexuality, not about relationships, all the fundamental lessons that we should have been guided and directed. We haven't got that foundation. And you know, just for an instance, yesterday I had such an enlightening conversation with Sheri Winston, and she wrote Woman Anatomy of Arousal, which is groundbreaking book that describes our equipment, our genitals, and, you know, information that has been missing from medical books. This woman, she's a midwife, and she's got so many credentials behind her name, and she said that she studied 5 times in her life anatomy, and she never studied the correct structure of the woman anatomy that had, you know, she had to navigate and research and find all those missing links from ancient texts that she brought together into this book that
That's
is
awesome.
absolutely mind-blowing.
Wow. You know, it's funny, you're making me remember, because I'm a physical, you know, I graduated as a physical therapist when I was 22, and we never ever located the G-spot in our anatomy class. You know, that was not, or even, I don't even remember anyone ever talking about the clitoris or the prostate. I can't remember, I mean, and I love anatomy and kinesiology and biomechanics. And so we didn't touch on the sexual, you know, even back then, but all our patients have those parts, and they're important, and they play such a big role in how to manage chronic pain and helping with the pleasure pathways of the nervous system and enhancing pleasure overall, which is very important for people that are in chronic pain to learn about pleasure. So I'm really grateful that you are launching this December 12th, and everybody, I'm going to go down to my link below where you can click and register for free, right? Or is there what's the cost?
So it is, it is free for a limited time. So
that's it. Perfect.
You all can have an opportunity to listen to everything for free, including all the beautiful gifts that every speaker shares.
That's awesome.
And it's also a playbook that you can download for free, and it has a summary of all the sessions with all the gifts. So it's such a huge resource. And of course, if you want to upgrade, then there's that option too, and you can purchase an all-access pass and have a lifetime access to this wonderful
amazing
course if you want to go deeper. So yeah.
Thank you so much. Well, I'll have that link down below, and I'll have your website too, so people can get in touch with you. And thank you so much for this time. Nunaisi ma. God bless you, and thank you for having me also on the summit. So everybody look out for my interview, and I can't wait to hear everyone's feedback on how it benefits everyone's lives. So sending lots of love. Is there any message you want to leave people with before we close?
I think I want to repeat something that you said earlier, because I found it so important to stress that point, that it is very heavy subject, you know, when we talk about sexual wounding or pain. But it, you know, the pain already happened, the trauma already happened. And when you work through it, you're not going to go through the same intensity or the same experience. And in fact, when you're holding it in your body, it takes vital energy from you to keep it at bay, to actually keep it, to compress it and keep it there. And it wants to come out, it wants to heal. So it keeps knocking on your inner door and asking your attention. And you know that because you live with yourself, and you know that, you know, if there's any addictions or any distractions or irritations or anger or depression or all of that, this is the healing wants to happen. So it takes some courage, but really the process does not have to be heavy and difficult and long and tiring. It can be so light and easy, and there are quantum leaps. So once you're ready, the teachers are there, and the universe is there with all the unseen support, helping you, guiding you to move through it in a speed of light.
Yes, thank you so much for bringing that up, because remember, we are miraculous. We are mostly made of energy. And when we are ready and we are willing, just to have, so you can ask yourself, am I willing to have an orgasmic life? Am I willing to discover a deeper relationship with my own sexual anatomy? Am I willing to learn where my prostate is, where my G-spot is? Am I willing to learn how to have ecstatic orgasms? Am I willing to learn how to feel richer and more abundant in my creative energy flow? Am I willing to be more sensual? Am I willing to let go of everything I learned as a child that doesn't serve me about sexuality? And am I willing to let go of shame and guilt and blame? And am I willing to let go of the narratives that I've created, the stories that are just weighing me down. And so this work that I do for sure is, you know, with NLP, hypnosis, the embodiment work, through the phone, we can clear those pains and those tensions and celebrate them, because they taught us how powerful we are, that we can transform. And so thank you so much for reminding us that we are powerful, and that's why we can come back to the light that we are. And I'm so grateful for you, and I can't wait till December 12th. So everybody have a beautiful time, and let's talk about sex. I can't wait.
Exactly. And let's have the right information and educate and share it, because sexuality is our life force energy. And let's bring back the sacredness and the innocence and the pleasure and the playfulness that sexuality is.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. God bless. And message us. Let us know if you want to learn more, and register. Lots of love. Mwah.
Lots of love.
Bye. Thank you.